that are just about trying to grow this team in the second season, getting them to be consistent and just buying into their system. So hopefully we'll see that this afternoon.
Let's have some fun here today. Little Wednesday afternoon basketball as 2023 winds down. It's Georgia Tech controlling the opening tip, and we're underway. Quick traveling violation right out of the gates for this Georgia Tech team. And we'll take a look at the starters here for South Carolina Upstate. A lot of familiar faces throughout the course of this season. The lefty Jenny Levine, along with Reeves, Barnes, Gordon, Markham, make up the opening five for Jason Williams' bunch. Turnaround jumper around the rim and just off there by Gordon. Corner three, Augustinaite with the miss. Rebound putback won't go for Kara Dunn. Last touch by Upstate, and Georgia Tech holds on to it. And there's a look at the opening five for the Yellow Jackets.
And that's what Georgia Tech has to do. They have to attack, running in transition, trying to get transition buckets, but finding points in the paint.
There's an easy look at the rim. Tonie Morgan just misfires, however, and it's a rebound going the other way for Upstate. Dakota Reeves fires from three. That one won't fall as Georgia Tech looks to push. And the lay-in for Kara Dunn, our game's first basket.
Yeah, and that's a good job. Good two-man game between Morgan and Dunn to get the easy lay-in.
Levine with it on the left wing. Cross-court pass on the drive. Up in the air, no good. And we've got a tie-up. Let's get another look at this Kara Dunn finish.
Yeah, nice two-man game. Tonie Morgan timed it perfectly, but just a good move by Dunn to get around her defender and get the easy lay-in.
Barnes to inbound. The young freshman, praised by her coach Jason Williams, has played well throughout the course of the season. Here's an open look from the corner for Barnes. It's no good, and it's Kara Dunn who controls the rebound, but throws it away. We take a look at our keys to the game put together by you, Fallon. What do you think is going to be important for both of these teams?
Well, for USC Upstate, they have to control the boards, make sure they box out and keep Georgia Tech off the glass and handle Georgia Tech screens. Coach Williams talked about that. Georgia Tech in their offensive sets, they like to set a lot of screens. And for Georgia Tech, they have to create points off their defense, and that's been their bread and butter to start the season, and move the basketball, share it, get assists. That's a winning recipe for Georgia Tech.
We already saw a part of that already as Tech got the rebound and pushed ahead a moment ago to get the game's first basket. Here's Kara Dunn at the top of the key. Three won't go, and it's a rebound there for Markham. South Carolina Upstate team with a 5-7 record on the year, fresh off a loss earlier this week against UNC Greensboro, in a game that I don't think Upstate was expecting to drop.
No, they wanted to get that one, especially at home, and they had been on a two-game winning streak, had a good win against Furman the game before that one. So Coach Williams was excited. He was hoping that he would be 6 out of 9, but right now he's 5 out of 9.
And a drive and finish here from Tonie Morgan. Hoop plus the foul, an and-one opportunity for Morgan. Let's take a look at this.
And you see it, nice hesitation, nice strong move to the basket. It's nobody that I know of that can really stop Tonie Morgan when she's going downhill. She has incredible body control, and she's able to get the and one.
The sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida, averaging just under 15 points a game on the season. Misfires on the free throw, but last touch by Upstate, so Tech will hold on to it. Got an opportunity to turn this into a 4 or 5 point possession, as Upstate couldn't control the rebound.
Yeah, and that's something they can't do. Those little chippies, they have to get those rebounds.
How about a three on the wing right there? It goes. It's Noguero.
Yeah, and that's big for Noguero. She had an offer against Georgia, wasn't able to score, but getting on the board early. I'm sure she's glad to see the ball go into the basket.
As a player, how much does that do for you mentally to see that first one go in?
It gets you excited, and it gives you that confidence to keep going and keep shooting the ball, and that's something that Coach Fortner wants from her. Not only is Noguero a great defender for this club, but she can shoot the 3 ball.
This Georgia Tech team, no stranger to 3-point success so far this season. They get the first one to go here a moment ago. How about that no-look dish for Morgan? Corner kick and drive here by Augustinaite. Can't finish. Top of the key 3, that one goes. A good-looking jump shot right there for Rebecca Gordon.
Yeah, that was a good-looking 3, and it was nothing but bottoms. That's something that I'm sure Coach Williams is happy to see his team getting it going early.
A hard drive and foul here. Kara Dunn will go to the line. Both these teams exchanging 3-point shots.
And we see right here, Noguero gets her feet set. Nice little hand pass by Blackshear. And on this one, Gordon, she's just wide open and knocks down the 3. That's what you're supposed to do.
Dunn to the line to shoot a pair. Kara Dunn averaging 14 points a contest on the season, but as we said, she's averaging 30 over the last 2.
Yeah, I think going into the Georgia State game, she was around 9 points a game, and she's upped her point total because the scoring that she provides for this Georgia Tech team is something that they will definitely need going into ACC play.
39 points in that game against Georgia State for Kara Dunn. No player in the ACC has had more than that in a single game this season. A takeaway here for the Tech defense, looking to push the other way. Dunn on the move, underneath to Noguero. Laid up and in.
And that's exactly one of the keys, making the defense turn into offense or creating offense through their defense. That's exactly what Georgia Tech just did on that last possession.
Left wing, here's Levine. On the interior, facing is Isabel West. Jump shot here, up and good. Gracie Barnes with the nice shot.
Yeah, that was a nice little hezzy, and she's able to get that shot off. Looks a little unorthodox, but it's nothing but bottoms.
Tonie Morgan up and in. Early, I'm seeing a lot of off-ball cuts from this Georgia Tech team.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to do. You're going to see cuts, backdoor cuts, you know, them passing it to their teammates, looking for the open man. And that's what they're doing early in their offense. Their offensive sets, they have to move in order to give themselves opportunities on the offensive end. Tech
by 7 here halfway through the first quarter. Turnaround hook there won't go. Up the other way. How about the finish here for Kara Dunn?
I mean, what
Upstate
about the
didn't
pass?
Get back.
They didn't get back. And that whip pass that Morgan gave to Dunn for the easy lay-in is just showing early how this is going.
Kara Dunn off and rolling early for Georgia Tech. They lead 14-5 halfway through the first.
That beat Georgia for the first time back in 2003. So, you know, Georgia Tech's just continuing the trend, so that's good. I'm sure Coach Fortner was happy to get that win on the road.
A big one on Saturday for Kara Dunn, 21 points leading all scorers, and Tech looks to carry that momentum from that one into today's game and into ACC play, right? We talk about this final non-conference test, and it's going to be a very competitive ACC season.
It is. It's so many teams in the ACC that are ranked, or it's just going to be competitive, so you have to be prepared. Night in, night out, it's anybody's game.
Collision here underneath, last touch by Macy White of Upstate. It'll be Georgia Tech basketball underneath.
And so far, Upstate has not allowed this game to get away from them. They're still in it. Georgia Tech trying to see if they can get something in their half-court set.
Sydney Johnson inbounds to Blackshear. Around the wing, it's a right wing three-pointer. Augustinaite able to knock it down.
Yeah, Augustinaite, she can shoot it and she's fearless, but when she sees that 3-ball go down, that gives her all the confidence in the world. I'm sure we're going to see more threes fly in the air for her this afternoon.
You told me she's never met a shot she doesn't like.
No, I haven't seen it since she started playing for Georgia Tech.
Let's take a look at that one more time. Good ball movement off the inbound.
Yeah, it was great ball rotation. She was the open man on the floor, and Sydney Johnson makes sure to whip that pass to get it to her so she can get her shot in rhythm, and she's able to knock down the 3.
Deasia Thomas-Harris into the contest now for Georgia Tech. The young freshman out of Katy, Texas, right outside the Houston area. Zora Frey-Chin with the basketball now for Upstate. Inside, here's Isabel West. And as we said, there's Upstate's leading scorer with a bucket underneath.
Yeah, and she comes in and does exactly what Coach Williams wants her to do, is score the basketball. Gets on the board early in this one.
Augustinaite, same spot, same result. How about that?
Yeah, Augustinaite, she did a great job. I tell you, when she catches fire, she's fearless, and that's something that I'm sure Coach Williams, he wants to get a hold of early. Get somebody out there defending her, even if it's a face guard.
Like on the inside, down low, we see Markham misfire. We'll see if we get a heat check here from Rusne. Tech looks to set offense up. Sydney Johnson with the fire from three-point range. It won't go, and it's controlled by Upstate. Spartans looking to push. Whew. What a calm shot that was from Zora Frey-Chin.
Yeah, no, she just walked up and shot it in rhythm, seemed very comfortable shooting that three.
Kara Dunn on the inside, grabs her own miss. A cutting Noguero who lays it up and in with the left hand.
And that's why you should always move, especially when you're on your side of the floor on the offensive end, because you never know when you'll get the basketball. Great cut by Noguero, and even better pass by Dunn.
And for a coaching staff, how frustrating that must be. The second chance points are something you want to look to avoid, because again, that was Kara Dunn following her own miss, getting the rebound.
Yeah, you got to box out a shooter, and as soon as she saw that ball was short, she followed it, was able to fight for the rebound, and then gives Georgia Tech another opportunity to get on the board and score.
Markham on the drive with the left hand, but she double dribbles. A turnover, and it goes back to Georgia Tech. It's now the fourth turnover so far today for South Carolina Upstate.
Right now, you still see Upstate playing this man-to-man defense. I wonder if Georgia Tech continues to knock down threes, if we might see him in some type of zone. Nice penetration by Augustinaite.
And what a roll of the rim that one was. Able to lay it up and in. We've seen shots from the outside. There's a drive and finish. And here's Zora Frey-Chin with her second three-point bucket. She had to call glass on that one.
Yeah, I don't think she called the bank for that one, but it was straight head on, front and center. She knocks down a big-time three for Upstate.
Noguero on the drive, lays it up, no whistle. Georgia Tech with another rebound, and they'll look to set things up once more. Turnaround jumper, no good. Another rebound and chance right before the shot clock expires.
And that's
a bucket for Tech.
Yeah, that's something you don't often see from Rusne Augustinaite. She doesn't really score for this team, more so of a post defender, but she knew the shot clock was winding down and gets that shot off right on time.
Aisha Rusne Augustinaite in her fifth year out of Spain. She said missed the first one, got it back, and able to shoot it before the shot clock expired. Now Tonie Morgan comes into the contest, and this is always an interesting lineup for Georgia Tech when you've got more ball handlers out on the floor. Sydney Johnson and Tonie Morgan kind of working together.
Well, this is a different team from what Georgia Tech has been in the past. They've had some pretty dominant posts, good size. They still have the size in the guard play, but the post position, besides Blackshear and Rusne Augustinaite, you don't see the same post play that you've seen from them in the past. So they're guard dominant, and that's what they're looking to use to score.
See it all day long, all ACC season long, I'd imagine, for this Georgia Tech team. The Yellow Jackets have doubled up South Carolina Upstate here in the first quarter, under a minute left to play. Jump shot, no good there for Gordon, and it's Georgia Tech looking to push. Now they'll hold up. Got a second difference between the shot and game clock. So Tonie Morgan will get it set up top.
Yeah, that was good defense right there by Levine. You know, we said it was a point of emphasis for Upstate to pay attention to Georgia Tech's ball screens. She gets through that initial screen that Augustinaite was trying to set and is able to draw the charge.
A little too aggressive that time for Tonie Morgan. Levine sliding the feet and able to get the offensive foul call. 7 seconds left here in the corner. Reeves has got it, top of the key, 3 at the horn, won't go. And that brings our first quarter to a close. Georgia Tech
due to start, and Coach Williams, you know, he's just trying to get his team to buy into being consistent and compete. That's something that's the focus this season. And he thinks if they continue on that trend, they'll continue to get better.
Jason Williams was able to do that at his first stop, Belmont Abbey, for 9 seasons. Took that program to the NCAA tournament 2 different times and looking to do that here with Upstate. So again, this is their final non-conference game as well before they start their Big South competition.
Yeah, and it's going to be probably a battle for them, but the competition of the teams that he's played or had on the non-conference schedule is definitely preparing them for conference play in the Big South.
Inbound underneath, and Kara Dunn, Tonie Morgan not on the same page. It's a turnover for Georgia Tech, and Upstate gets it back.
And that's a misread. Fortunately for Georgia Tech, they have the lead that they can handle a couple of mistakes like that. Hopefully they'll get on cue, because that would have been an easy lay-in for Kara Dunn if she read it.
How about our numbers so far? Upstate's more efficient shooting from 3-point land than they have been on 2-point shots through the first quarter of play. Good bit of size there underneath defensively for Georgia Tech. West with it underneath. Reeves from the top of the key. That one's no good. It'll be out of play, and it's Georgia Tech basketball.
And that was a good double team on West. She had a one-on-one situation down low, and it was a great job by Blackshear to come over for the help to create the double team, cause her to pass that ball out of the paint.
Morgan with it. Right wing inside to Blackshear on the drive. Left hand up and in.
And that was too easy. You see Upstate finally transition into a zone, and Blackshear was able to just dribble to the lane and get a wide open lay-in.
Tech playing man-to-man. Blackshear nearly played the passing lane perfectly, but Upstate able to hold on to it. Look from the outside. There's a 3-point basket knocked down for Gracie Barnes.
And Gracie Barnes' release on that shot, it was quick. She released it fast and was able to get the knockdown before the block could come.
Backdoor cut for Kara Dunn. She finishes, however, took too many steps and is called for the travel.
Yeah, Kara Dunn was looking at the ref as if, I don't think I took too many steps on that one. But it was a nice cut. Sydney Johnson's able to pass and give the dime on the back door.
Just shuffled her feet a time too many. Sometimes you get a little excited about the lay-in before.
Yeah, I don't know about that one when I was looking back. Looked like she had established her foot and had the one step. But what do I know?
Looking to push the other way. Noguero here for Georgia Tech finds Blackshear at the free throw line. A Kara Dunn 3 is good.
Guess that's payback. The ball don't lie, right?
No doubt.
She's able to knock down a big-time 3, extend Georgia Tech's lead.
Well, look how this Upstate team can get back into it. How about the defense leading to offense? Laid up and in. There we go. It's Aisha Augustinaite. Post player up top there with the pick away and basket on the other end.
That's something you rarely see from Augustinaite in the positioning and in what she was playing. Just good, solid defense. She shoots the lane and decides to just go for it. Gets the rip and the steal and is able to go and get the lay-in. Great job by Augustinaite, but it allowed Georgia Tech to set up their press, and they were able to slow down Upstate.
Barnes on the inside into Gordon. Back at the top of the key, here's Frey Chin. Out once again to Markham. Barnes with the wing three, and that one's no good. Shot clock violation called against Upstate.
Yeah, Upstate, they're playing solid basketball. They just need to slow it down a bit. Georgia Tech is making them play fast in their half-court sets. That's why you're seeing airball shots like that. But they need to see about trying to get into the paint, maybe draw some fouls on Tech, and see if they can get some easy points in the lane.
And it feels like the pressure is forcing Upstate to take more time on their possessions. We've seen a couple of different moments where they've been a shot clock violation or really close to it. Three-point shot once again. Rusne Augustinaite.
Yeah, it's not too much you can do about that. So far, she's hot in this first half already with some big points, 8 points in the first half.
On the floor, it's Kara Dunn who picks it up. Pass up ahead to Blackshear.
Got Augustinaite running the point, trying to get the handoff. I like it.
Trying to get something set up. There's Blackshear underneath. Augustinaite misfires. Jenny Levine on the drive. And that bucket won't go. Levine had 13 points earlier in the week against Greensboro.
And Coach Williams said he was real happy with how Levine was playing. Nice land by Blackshear, good pass by Noguero. But especially in that game against UNC Greensboro, even though it was a loss, she had some big minutes when Trinity Johnson was in foul trouble and they needed a point guard.
Levine's been running the show so far today. He's played every minute of this contest so far. Got a 10-0 Georgia Tech run over the last 2.5 minutes. Blocked shot there from Blackshear. And the Yellow Jackets will look to push. Three-point shot for Rusne, no good. How about the pull-up there for Levine?
And it's so shifty and great handle for Levine, but she's a lefty. Gets that ball off, and that was a nice-looking shot.
Only lefty we've seen in the game so far today. Jenny Levine making it look natural on the pull-up. 20-point lead here for Georgia Tech halfway through the second quarter of play. It's 38-18. There's always time to be teaching and coaching in games like this, and that's certainly the case for Jason Williams and this USC Upstate coaching staff. They're building their philosophy around 3 different C's, Fallon.
Yeah, they are. Consistency, connectivity, and core values. And Coach Williams, he talked about that with us when we had a call with him about how important it is to get this team to buy in and just be consistent. That tough loss they suffered against UNC Greensboro where they wanted to get a home victory, but he said they can't look back. It's a new day, new game. They have to look forward, and he's just trying to get this team to grow and play together so they can improve and be ready for the Big South. Yeah,
playing together, the connectivity piece of all of this is something that they're looking to see play out not only today, but the rest of the season.
And it's like any program. You're really just trying to build a culture, you know, when you recruit kids to come to your school that they can buy into. And so far, you know, Coach Williams is implementing a great culture for this USC Upstate team.
Just his second season there leading the Spartans program, and going into year number 1, basically had to recruit the entire team. Players entering the transfer portal, was able to hold on to the 4 high school signees. 1 player to stay, but then this coaching staff had to get work quick building out their roster.
They did. He said they had 6 weeks to turn it around, and they made it happen.
Isabel West grabs the rebound here for Upstate. So Reeves will look to push. First time today we've seen Jenny Levine get a breather over here on the Spartan bench. West looking to cut. Termise there defensively. Out to Barnes, but too many steps.
It's been a few traveling calls today.
Yeah.
These refs have had a watchful eye on too many steps this afternoon.
9th team turnover for USC Upstate. Got to find a way to limit those against a team like Georgia Tech. There's a turnover for Georgia Tech. Termes misfired on the post pass down to Blackshear.
Yeah, it seemed like Blackshear was still trying to get positioning. The pass didn't look too awful, but Blackshear really couldn't get any movement to get that pass. She had positioning in the paint, though.
And Fallon, how about this breather? Less than a minute of game time missed for Jenny Levine before she checks back into the game.
Yeah, Coach Williams and his staff, they're being mindful. They need a point guard out there to control this offense. They don't want this game to get too out of hand.
Frey Chin up top, knocked away by this Tech defense. Morgan will look to push. Top of the key three for Termes. Hit the rim a couple of times, but won't fall. Good pass, Frey Chin, open on the right wing. Rebound can't be handled by Upstate. Couple of good looks for this Upstate team. They're just not knocking down shots.
Yeah, it's just not falling. They've gotten some looks the last couple of possessions.
What a rebound for Tonie Morgan, flying through the air to grab that one and lay it in.
Yeah, such an athlete. I mean,
wow.
Her vertical is pretty incredible, and that's why she's one of the leading rebounding guards in the ACC currently, averaging about 7.3 rebounds a game, leading the team.
Tech winning the battle on the glass so far in this one. Tonie Morgan's doing her part to help out. Up ahead to Rusne, back out to Termes. Free throw line jumper is good. It's a good-looking shot.
That is, and I like that about Termes, the freshman, 6'6", but she has a nice touch. I know Coach Fortner is going to learn that consistency when she can knock down that trailer three.
Georgia Tech with the dominant lead so far here. Tech that's starting to create the big distance.
It is, and they're creating those turnovers and being successful on scoring, but also the assists. That's something that Georgia Tech has been consistent. When they have a high number of assists, lower than the number of turnovers they have a game, that's usually a good recipe for a win for Georgia Tech.
When you look at the shots made, 12 assists on 18 shots from the floor. There's not a lot of ball dominance. There's not a lot of isolation.
Right, not a lot of one-on-one.
Team sharing.
Yeah, it's moving the basketball, and that's something that early on with some losses that Georgia Tech had against Florida, as well as Nebraska, that was noticeable for Coach Fortner and her staff, that they needed to move the basketball, and you've been seeing that in Georgia Tech's offense the last couple of games.
And that's really going to help them when they get into ACC play.
Definitely.
See what Tonie Morgan can do for this Tech team. Looking to add to their lead here as we get closer to halftime. A misfire there by Augustinaite. Jenny Levine able to hold on to it, tipping it out to Frey Chin. Here's West on the inside, but Termes is there defensively. Isabel West, we talked about her scoring for Upstate. She's not used to having to go up against a 6'6" post player.
No, and the guards for Georgia Tech, you know, they have good size in their guard play, but when you got a 6'6" post player down there, that's going to alter some shots.
Another free throw line jumper's good for Termes. She's got a smile back for her bench.
Yeah, it's nobody on this Upstate team that can guard her one-on-one. Just with the height advantage on its own, she can look over her defender and get her shot off.
Three-point shot for Reeves at the top of the key. Rebound controlled there by Carter. Three-point shot, Tonie Morgan. Tries to follow her miss, but it's Reeves who controls it.
And that's something Morgan is still trying to work on for her game, is her three-point shot. If she gets that going, she is going to be major trouble.
Here's Dakota Reeves looking for an open teammate. Markham on the drive into the corner. Zora Frey Chin now puts it on the deck, and she's going to be fouled.
And that was a good move by Frey Chen, just penetrating, get into the basket, getting some contact and drawing the foul. And that's something we haven't seen a lot this afternoon from Upstate, but she's taken advantage of that matchup, or took advantage, and now she's at the free throw line for 2 shots.
Frey Chen to shoot a pair. 6 points on the day already. First trip to the free throw line. He gets the first one to fall.
And she's their leading scorer right now. Coming off of the bench has been very productive for this Upstate team.
Able to knock them both down. Those were the first 2 free throw attempts for Upstate in this entire first half. 8.6 seconds remaining. A trap here at the midcourt, and Tonie Morgan traveled. Good defensive trap there for Upstate, but Tonie Morgan's got to be frustrated.
Yeah, that was a good job, but they knew that trap was coming a mile away. At least Tonie Morgan should have known and reading it. And then as soon as she crossed over, she should have been more intentional in making that pass before she crossed over half court. Upstate's
got to get the ball in, and that's a 5-second violation on the inbound. So a turnover back to Georgia Tech now.
Yeah, that's when you need to be a heads-up point guard and call that timeout so you can regroup. That would have been a major possession closing in on the half.
Into Tonie Morgan. She looks to drive with the left hand, lays it up, no good. And that's how our first half will come to a close. Georgia Tech, a 44-20 lead over USC Upstate. A fun back and forth first half.
Yeah, it was pretty fun back and forth, but Georgia Tech was pretty dominant in that first half.
Holidays are here. There's a bit of a longer break before both of these teams hit the hardwood again for their next game.
It is. I mean, both teams, it's nice to get the Christmas break. It sucks to have to come back on Christmas, which I think Georgia Tech will have to do to get back and get some conditioning going before that December 29th game. But USC Upstate, they played 2 games in 3 days here. So I know they may need the break after this game this afternoon.
And then a long break for the Spartans. They don't play again until January 3rd when you take on UNC Asheville. So for them, I think they want to have a good half of play here. The last thing you kind of remember before you get that long break.
Right.
Things to build off of.
Right, and because the previous 2 games before the UNC Greensboro game, they were starting to see more of that consistency. Had 2 key wins against Furman and Western Carolina that Coach Williams was very excited and proud of. And then you hate to go out on a break with a couple of losses, but hopefully Coach Williams can see some good things from this team in the second half.
Georgia Tech looking for a good shot here on their first possession of the second half. There's a 3-point shot for Kara Dunn. She was trying to go after the rebound and got feet tangled up with Levine. So foul called, and Georgia Tech will hold on to it.
She'll take some hard falls, but she gets right back up. You know, Tonie Morgan, her makeup, her body type, she's so athletic, and I say she's so strong up top where she can take a lot of contact and get right back up.
That offensive rebound she had in the first half and finish. One of the most athletic plays we'll see this season. Noguero from 3, that one's good.
And again, the passing, that was just a great job. You know, Dunn had the open 3, but decides to pass it to her teammate and give Noguero the shot, and she's able to knock down. And all that's going to do is build Noguero's confidence. We said she didn't score against Georgia, but she's having a solid afternoon in this one.
Strong defense there by Augustinaite. He forces the miss from Gracie Barnes. Looking to push, it's Kara Dunn underneath. She's fouled, shot won't go, but she'll get a chance to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and that's what she's able to do. I'm liking the fact that even though she's been on this scoring tear the last couple of games, she's not forcing it this afternoon, and this team is just really playing some good team basketball this afternoon.
Finding a way to let the game come to her is Kara Dunn. Again, 39 points against Georgia State, follows that up with 21 against the Georgia Bulldogs. Just 8 points on the day so far for Kara Dunn.
And his free throws have been Georgia Tech's Achilles heel this afternoon. Not shooting the ball well from the charity stripe, 1 of 6.
One more coming for Kara Dunn. And she gets that one to fall. This Georgia Tech team on the season shooting 71% from the free throw line. Not the worst percentage that we see in the ACC, but for whatever reason today, they're just not knocking them down.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes a little focus, and when you're on that line alone, it's a whole different ball game.
All by yourself. How about that layup up and in for Markham? Cross-court pass. Noguero had an open look. She holds on to it. Inside, here's Dunn, and another foul. Kara Dunn back to the free throw line.
And it's the same move again, but you just have Markham looking like, I'm just standing straight up. What am I doing to foul? And it was a good job. She's moving her feet, but Dunn did a great job of creating that contact to draw the foul and going back to the free throw line for 2 shots.
We said coming into today's game, Georgia Tech as a team shooting 71% from the free throw line. Kara Dunn herself shooting 71%, right at the team's average. She's 2 for 5 from the line, though, here in today's game. Make it 3 for 6, and she's now in double digits. Quickly ahead for Upstate. Trinity Johnson on the drive. Did not see much of Trinity Johnson in the first half for Upstate.
We didn't see any of Trinity Johnson in that first half, and you see Coach Williams changing things up with Levine, giving the lefty the start. But hopefully we see some good things from Johnson. They may need her scoring this afternoon.
Both Johnson and Levine out there. How about the left-handed finish for Tonie Morgan?
And just skied across the lane. That was an incredible move.
What a
She's
drive.
so athletic. You know, the former All-State track star as well. She has the hops, and when you see her athleticism, it's just mind-boggling to see how she can sky like that.
And able to use that to her advantage. Pass up ahead. Here's Morgan. She finishes that time with the left hand. Right side left hand, but the finish.
There was a lot of falling on that play. I'm not sure how Dunn got to the ground. It looked like it was going to be a nice 2-on-1.
We talked going in just Tonie Morgan's numbers so far this season. How about this game so far? 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Doing a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah, you'll see it. I mean, in the Georgia game, she almost had a triple-double, but you see the athleticism, driving to the lane, skying with the left hand and finishing. And she seems to get to the ground a lot, but gets right back up, ready to go.
4 players now in double figures for the Yellow Jackets. Blackshear fouled and gets the bucket to go. Nice play there from Kayla Blackshear. She's up to 6 points on the day.
Yeah, and even though she's been quiet, I love Blackshear's game. She doesn't force anything, but when she has her opportunity, she will capitalize. And this year being a better scorer for this Georgia Tech team, because Coach Fortner is basically demanding it from her, because they need the post presence, something they haven't had in a couple of seasons.
Blackshear so far 0 for 2 from the free throw line, but she's got a chance to convert an old-fashioned 3-point play here with this free throw. One around the rim and out.
Like the lid is on that free throw line this afternoon for Georgia Tech. It does not want to fall.
No kidding. Levine looks to set up the offense here for the Spartans. Straight line drive for Johnson, and she gets the scoop shot to fall.
And that's a nice looking shot. She's a preseason Big South player for this Upstate team. And that's probably some of the scoring that Coach Williams may have needed in the first half, but good to see her getting it going in this second.
Kara Dunn on the inside. Good defense there from Markham, who grabs the rebound. Bell West with the 3, and that one's no good, but she gets her own rebound.
And that was a nice steal by West. That's why it's so important to grab the basketball rather than trying to dribble like Noguero did. And West was able to get that steal.
The foul called, and Upstate holds on to it. Let's take a look at that last finish from Trinity Johnson.
And she did use the screen. Tonie Morgan was still there defending, but just a better move and a better offense from Trinity Johnson. She was able to get the nice finish and lay-in.
Knocked away there by Morgan. And Upstate will now look to inbound from near the corner. Tough place to pass it in.
Oh,
and takeaway from Morgan. She read that play all the way. Tonie Morgan, hoop plus the foul.
I mean, she's on a tear right now, and she's having her way going to the paint. Once she goes downhill, and if she gets in that paint area, I say it, 90% of the time, it's going to be a score. And you see it right here. She reads that perfectly, anticipates, gets the steal, has the one-on-one matchup, and still is able to drive and get the finish.
But can't convert at the free throw line. 57-24, the lead for Georgia Tech, but the Yellow Jackets are now 3 of 11 from the line. Markham with it at the top of the key. Give to Levine, who uses the Isabel West ball screen. And a tie-up. We've got a jump ball here, and Upstate will hold on to possession.
And Upstate, they have to do a better job. Levine getting doubled somewhat in the middle of the floor, but they have to get open so they can give her a passing lane to pass out of that double team, which they did not do. Fortunately, the possession stays with Upstate.
Only 5 seconds on the shot clock. And there was no touch made at all, so it's a turnover here, and Georgia Tech will hold on to it. Upstate was gonna have to be quick, but it's a turnover on the inbound for the Spartans. Left wing, here's Morgan. And it's a charge. Tonie Morgan called for the foul.
Yeah, that was a tough hit right there. Tonie Morgan was going into that lane with full force. And whoever took that contact for Upstate took a nice charge.
Strong start to the second half for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. They're in full control this afternoon over USC Upstate. No better way to spend the holiday season than with a lot of great basketball games to be watching. Of course, we've got this one today between Georgia Tech and USC Upstate, but with ACC play opening up right around the corner, how about some of these fine matchups that we've got?
Oh, I think it's going to be an incredible fun season. You know, you have Notre Dame, but Wake Forest against Florida State. A lot of good games on New Year's Eve. Notre Dame and Syracuse, that should be a good one. Louisville, Miami, they always play hard. And I think such a surprising turnaround for NC State from a season ago. Number 3 in the country, and they've had some great performances, some big-time wins, including a big win against UConn.
And that's what's so impressive to see right there, where so many teams ranked inside the top 25 for the ACC. These teams will be tested throughout the entire portion of conference play.
They will. I mean, they're going to beat up on each other, but once you get to tournament time in March, you're going to see at least 7 or 8 teams coming out of the ACC.
Termise misfires. Unable to connect that time as Trinity Johnson will push ahead. Here's a Macy White three-point shot. That one's good.
And you can thank Trinity Johnson for that, pushing the basketball as the point and giving her teammate a nice look at the 3, and it was a big-time knockdown.
Macy White, the young freshman, one of just 3 freshmen on this entire roster for Upstate. Out of Asheville Christian Academy, has done a good job coming off the bench for the Spartans this season.
And that's a spark for this team. I mean, you see the point differential with Georgia Tech with the 30-point lead right now, but it's good to see that USC Upstate is able to find some scoring in transition and get something quick within the shot clock, not being bogged down within their half-court offense.
Speaking of freshmen, how about Deasia Thomas-Harris, who's going to go to the free throw line to shoot for the Yellow Jackets?
Yeah, she's an impressive freshman for Georgia Tech this season. Already averaging about 6.2 points and 4.1 rebounds a game. But, you know, the big thing is just her growing, getting stronger, learning Coach Fortner's offense. But she's been consistent. Another freshman that's fearless when she gets on the court.
Splits a pair of free throws. Naviance Carter comes into the game. Johnson's got it on the right wing. Nice defensive pressure there from Johnson.
And that was almost another steal. Georgia Tech pretty solid this afternoon in the steal category. 7 steals for the game so far in this one.
Gordon inbounds. Gets it back. 10 seconds on the shot clock. West shooting over the trees. And a good contest there from Termes. 6'6" on the interior. A little bit tougher competition than what Isabel West has seen so far this season.
Yeah, when you have that type of height, you got to be pretty clever of how you're going to get to the basket or score over somebody that's 6'6". But it's a total adjustment for West this afternoon.
Thomas Harris can't hold on to it. We see a collision here, and Noguero is down in pain for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, she's telling them not to touch her arm. It seems like it was her elbow. Hopefully it's just she hit her funny bone and it'll be okay.
Noguero, strong game so far, 10 points, 4 of 5 from the floor. She's gonna stay in there.
Yeah, she's a tough player. And you see they were just battling for this loose ball, and she goes in with that arm, and looks like they hit elbow, so I know that was painful.
Frey Chin's got it, double team coming. Finds Gordon for an open look. More bodies to the floor. And Noguero will push. On the inside, there's Thomas Harris, who can't quite make the layup, and it'll be Upstate basketball.
That was a great baseline pass by Noguero, giving Thomas Harris an open look at the basket, but unfortunately, she's not able to capitalize.
3 of 9 from the floor to start this third quarter for the Spartans. They're looking to trim this Georgia Tech lead. How about that drive and finish for Trinity Johnson?
I like it. She's impressive. It's exactly why she is preseason All Big South this season. She knows how to score the basketball.
And a steal here for Upstate as Frey Chin's got it. But it's taken away there by Johnson on the collision.
And the ref saying she shouldn't even have made that call. It should have just been a straight possession and let it go, but they're going to take it out on the sideline. It's going to be interesting to see how if they call a foul or they just are going to set it out of bounds.
Looks like they'll go with the accidental whistle, inadvertent whistle, and Georgia Tech will hold on to the basketball.
Yeah, I know Sydney Johnson doesn't like that one. She had a wide open layup.
"20 points off turnovers so far for Georgia Tech, and you could argue there was a chance for more for Sydney Johnson there.
Yeah, it was. It was great anticipation for the steal.
Thomas Harris is fouled.
It's been a lot of contact in this game. We've said it, a lot of bodies to the floor, but these teams play very aggressive. You can see right here, yeah, Thomas Harris trying to split the double team and gets caught up and is able to draw the foul going to the free throw line.
Thomas Harris gets the first free throw to fall. Two for 2 at the line that trip for Deasia Thomas Harris. Trinity Johnson will bring it up the floor here for Upstate. Johnson had a look at a three-point shot at the top of the key, but mishandles And Georgia Tech comes away with the basketball.
Yeah, that was a tough mishandle. Looked like she wanted to go up, and last second decides to dribble, loses control of the basketball.
Carter on the drive. She'll lay it up, but it's a charge called.
Yeah, strong, aggressive move by Aviance Carter. But fortunately for her, she gets called for the charge, and she takes her defender off the dribble, but just great positioning.
Gordon was ready for that.
She was definitely ready. Her feet were outside of the half circle, and she had good positioning to draw that charge.
Morgan defending Johnson. Frey Chin with the pass. It ricochets out to Morgan. Started to push the other way, slows it down, but then finds Carter for the lay-in underneath.
And that's where you have to get back. You see that Trinity Johnson was trying to overplays it, but it was still some players for Upstate that weren't back. Easy lay-in for Carter.
Turnover there. And we will see Jenny Levine come back into the game along with Dakota Reeves. Tough third quarter so far for this Upstate team. Noguero can't connect on the three, but another rebound for Morgan. Tonie Morgan's doing a little bit of everything here for Georgia Tech.
And she takes so many hard falls, but you see her get right back up. She's so explosive, and you see how she was trying to make that move to the baseline and is able to draw the foul, going back to the free throw line where hopefully she can capitalize for this Georgia Tech ball club. But that's something that has worked for Tonie Morgan and has continued to work for her all season, is penetrating to the lane. And when she does that, usually good things happen.
Yeah, how about those numbers? 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. How about we add 3 steals as well?
Yeah, she's going to fill up a box score. When we talk about the game she had against UGA, she almost had a triple-double, and big-time numbers in that game with 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. She was too short.
It's just like another day at the office for her.
She'll fill up a box score. When you look at it, you're like, wow, she had a better game than you may have even thought of.
Three seconds left in the quarter. Dakota Reeves has to throw it up. And that one won't go. Almost falls. But Georgia Tech holding on to a 63 margin. Shots assisted in the rebound margin. What jumps out to you when you look at those numbers?
Well, I think it's the 60% of shots assisted, meaning that over half of their shots, they're generated from some type of pass or assist. And that's been something that's key. No one-on-one play. And then the growth of these freshmen, when you see in Dunn as well as Tonie Morgan. They were freshmen a year ago. Even though it wasn't a great season, they got a lot of playing time. And you see it with the point totals this afternoon, the scoring margin, and they're shooting the basketball extremely well and out-rebounding Upstate by plus 12.
There's been a big difference in that rebounding margin this entire season. You mentioned it being plus 12 today, but a big increase from a year ago. Why has that been this season that Georgia Tech's been rebounding better?
This is a team that likes to rebound, especially the guards. So they're not relying on post players to get boards for them. Tonie Morgan, like I said earlier, she's leading this team in rebounding. So that is impressive when your point guard is your leading rebounder.
Just more of an emphasis for everybody to be rebounding?
Effort, yes. It has to be a concerted effort to crash the boards, because when you do that, good things tend to happen.
Levine picked up her dribble. She's got to go opposite wing now to Reeves. Can't quite connect on that three-point shot. Kara Dunn thought about the pull-up. Instead, it's a shot on the inside. Isa Augustinaite puts it in.
Yeah, Augustinaite, this is the most we've seen her really score on the offensive end and being consistent this afternoon. 3 of 5 from the field, and she's had some nice-looking shots.
Another rebound for Tonie Morgan. She's pushing pace. for a rebound for Upstate. Just 9 points in the third quarter for South Carolina Upstate, their fewest total this season. It had been 12, but that Georgia Tech defense was pretty suffocating in that third quarter.
It was, and that was just a good play by Gordon. She saw she had a mismatch with the size advantage on Tonie Morgan and just decides to take her and pound it in and gets the lay-in.
Kara Dunn's got it at the top of the key. Pull-up jumper for Noguero. No good. Markham grabs the rebound. Levine wants to push. Jenny Levine lays it up and gets the shot to fall.
And I like this sophomore's game. I mean, she had the 2-on-1, but decided to keep it herself. And you see her on the break. Noguero does a great job, and she has Tonie Morgan right behind her. Two people trying to steal it. And she just goes up with the left-hand lay-in. Nice finish by the sophomore.
Jenny Levine's coming off a 13-point game against UNC Greensboro on Monday. 5 games this season. Levine's been in double figures, but held to just 5 points so far today.
Yeah, and she doesn't force it. She hasn't taken only 5 shots this afternoon, but when you see the emphasis and the impact she has when she is in the game, she really can push the tempo and has a nice handle for Coach Williams as a point guard for this squad.
Tech hasn't been giving her many opportunities to shoot the ball.
No.
Forcing Levine to give it up. Bediaco's got it. Pass outside to Johnson, who throws it up. And it'll stay there with Georgia Tech. Knocked away by Upstate. Just 3 seconds on the shot clock, though.
Yeah, they have to be conscious of that. I'm sure Sydney Johnson is letting her team know that whatever she gets inbounds is going to have to be a quick shot.
It's the ball in. Rusne's got it. A deep shot attempt. No good, and they're going to call a shot clock violation.
Maybe that wasn't stated in the huddle. Some miscommunication there because they looked a little confused about how much time they had left on that shot clock.
Yeah, I'd agree. It must not have been communicated. 7 minutes to play here this afternoon. And Trinity Johnson's fouled on the drive.
And you see Trinity Johnson looks a little frustrated, but that was a good move. I mean, not Trinity Johnson, Sydney Johnson looked a little frustrated getting that foul call. But you got to applaud Trinity Johnson for doing a good job and taking Sydney Johnson off the dribble to draw the foul.
Johnson on Johnson crime that time. Trinity Johnson's able to connect on her first free throw. Didn't see her play in the first half. She's up to 5 points, make it 6 in today's game. We'll see Georgia Tech call timeout. 31-point lead right now for the Yellow Jackets over USC Upstate. A lot of smiles right now on that Georgia Tech bench. They're in full control this afternoon against USC Upstate. Final game of the non-conference season, which means ACC play is up next. We're going to get a chance to look at some of these stars across the conference.
Oh, yeah, and it's been a great start to the season. You've even had some players appearing like King. A season ago, she averaged about 9 points a game, and she is leading, or one of the leading scorers in the conference, #2 right now. But I think the most impressive has been Hannah Hidalgo as a freshman stepping in, averaging 23.6 points a game and 6.2 steals, and she's not a bad assist leader either for that Notre Dame squad with Olivia Miles still out. But Kidley and Georgia Amore, they make that team go. And Deasia Fair, I know that Coach Leggett is so happy that she was able to get her back for another season, and she's continuing the trend and scoring 19.2 points a game. So it's so many players. It could change at any point, but I just think it's going to be another fun season of ACC play.
Gets started here in a few days. Georgia Tech's first game coming up on December 29th. They'll be on the road in Tallahassee to take on Florida State. And what will be a very fun and competitive league season. Rusne Augustinaite with another three-point shot. She hits him with the shrug.
Yeah, she hit him with the Jordan shrug. I'm like, she don't even know where that came from. I tell you, this freshman is not a shot that she's hesitant to take, but when she's feeling it, she can light it up with the best of them. One of the top three-point shooters in ACC.
Bell West thought about the three-point shot, instead drives to the rim and is able to finish.
Yeah, that was a good move by
Smart
West.
shot selection.
Yeah, good little hesitation and takes the dribble in for the easy layup.
Bediako had her shot deflected, I believe. So Tech will look to set things up once more. Here's Bediako on the inside. Gets the bucket to go, and she's fouled.
And I love the intensity from Nell Fortner. She's had a good, solid scoring day, but that was a nice assist. Good pass.
Big-time finish. Jade Bediako underneath. Fouled and gets the shot to fall. Georgia Tech's having a day here at McCamish. .72-40 lead today for Georgia Tech over USC Upstate. We talked coming in some of the individual scoring performances that we've seen as of late for Georgia Tech. We'd be remiss not to mention the balanced scoring attack that we've seen today for the Yellow Jackets. I think that speaks to what this team can do, Fallon. But look at this, multiple players contributing to the offensive success.
Yeah, and it all goes with saying that, you know, Coach Fortner recently had some tweaks in the lineup due to some injuries and was able to get the type of offensive scoring she's been able to get from this team in the last couple of games by switching the lineup up. And they're playing small ball, but it's been working for them. And you see the consistency in scoring. It's just not one person doing it. We've talked about what a tear Kara Dunn's been on, but they didn't even need that type of scoring from her this afternoon. It was a balanced attack. 4
different players for Georgia Tech in double figures. 6 different players with greater than 5 points in today's contest. That's something that you would love to see continue into ACC play, because the reality is not every single player is going to have career games every single night.
No, and if you're able to do that in ACC play, then that's a big time game. But you need the consistency and people or your players feeling confident in scoring the basketball going into league play.
Coaches like to say it's easy to defend 1, it's hard to defend 5.
Right.
Bediako fighting for the rebound. Georgia Tech first to hit the floor, but it's Upstate looking to push, and Trinity Johnson can't quite connect on that one. Johnson's been a good spark plug off the bench here today in the second half.
She has, and like we said, she didn't play in the first half, but so far she has shot it well in the second half when she's been given the opportunities.
3-point shot for Carter off the back rim. Trinity Johnson sets it up at the top. Frey Chen on the drive, but how about Caitlin Wilson with the poke from behind?
Yeah, that was a good job by Wilson. She got beat on the baseline, but was able to recover and strip that ball.
4 new players into the game for Upstate, trying to keep the legs fresh. And they played just on Monday earlier this week, but after this one, a long break until their next game on January 3rd.
And that's the hard part when you go on Christmas break. You know, you got to stay in condition. It's easy just to hang with your friends and family and eat what you want. Yeah. But you have to be intentional, because once you come back, conference play is right around the corner.
3-point shot, no good, but a rebound and a follow-through. Deasia Thomas-Harris lays it up and in. She's now got 5. Levine on the drive, gets that one to go.
Man, I like that lefty. I mean, she is aggressive, fearless herself, and she'll take it in the hole and go amongst the trees with anybody.
Fun player to watch. Good passing here from Georgia Tech on the inside, and Carter's going to the free throw line. This Georgia Tech team likes sharing the basketball.
And that's key. You know, that's what's been working. Why you have the number of players in double figures for Tech this afternoon, like we listed before, 4 players in double figures for this squad, and it's because they share the basketball. They, you know, try to give their teams good opportunities to score, and that's going to be key. That builds confidence, and it definitely builds team chemistry.
First free throw good for Carter. Two for 2 at the line. Georgia Tech just 1 of 5 from the free throw line in the first half, 8 for 15 in the second. So they're coming back closer to their average. Inside to Thomas Harris. Back out to Wilson. Her three-point shot rattles in.
And Wilson is a capable shooter. The transfer from Cincinnati, she can shoot the basketball, and we saw her. She looked really nice on that three-point shot.
Isabel West has it. She gives to Levine. Back inside to West. Spins around, and she's fouled by Bediako.
And that's a tough call on the freshman. Bediako seemed like she had good positioning, but instead gets called for the foul. And this is a learning process, and this is a great opportunity what Coach Fortner is doing, giving her players an opportunity to play. You know, these are players that may not see as much time once conference play comes around, but every minute is important and it counts, because you never know when you're going to need to pull one of these players from the bench, and they're going to have to step up.
Yeah, learning experience for many of these players. There's a look at Anissa Clark. She's the newest Yellow Jacket to check into the game for the first time today. The senior out of McDonough, Georgia.
Almost got a steal.
Yeah.
It was a great anticipation by Levine.
Zone defensive look here for Georgia Tech, or Upstate, excuse me, and Tech turns it over.
Yeah, it was a good look. They were anticipating trying to get that ball inside, but it was great rotations by Upstate to cause the turnover.
Gordon's got it at the elbow. Gives to Barnes. Back to Gordon. Caitlin Weber moving her feet defensively, and Georgia Tech grabs the rebound. Good defensive possession for the Tech second unit.
1 minute.
Levine looks to push the other way. Hesitation. And West grabs the rebound. She'll get it to go, plus the foul.
Yeah, West just has a knack for the basketball and scoring, and that was a good offensive rebound. Good anticipation. She kept that ball high, gets the putback, and is going to the free throw line for the and one. See if she can make it count.
Isabel West gets the free throw to fall. The leading scorer for this Spartans team, impressive once again. She's in double figures with 12. You have to wonder how long she'll be coming off the bench for this Upstate team.
Well, it's good to have that type of player to come off of your bench, but when you see the type of scoring output they had this afternoon, that's a good point.
How about this finish from Bediako plus the foul? Another and one opportunity for Jade Bediako, and her teammates love it.
Yeah, they love it. Anytime you see a freshman getting an opportunity to score, she's getting some solid minutes this afternoon.
Bediako can't quite convert the three-point play. Upstate looks to push with under 30 seconds remaining. Georgia Tech looking for their 9th win of the season. Running ahead, Wilson turns it over. Looking for Clark. Basket good for Gracie Barnes. And Georgia Tech will dribble this one out. An impressive 81-50 win for the Yellow Jackets here today over USC Upstate.
Yeah,
What'd you think of today's game?
I mean, it was just a great game for Georgia Tech to